all-new 2017 Ridgeline, our newest vehicle and their newest fan. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays. Sportsnet. Presented by the all-new 2017 Ridgeline, our newest vehicle and their newest fan. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome to Kansas City and beautiful Kauffman Stadium. This is the last time these two ball clubs will play against one another this season. Kansas City won the game last night 4-2 after Blue Jays won the opener on Friday night. So this is the rubber match of this three-game series. Blue Jays still tied with the Orioles on top of the AL East at 63-48. Let's take a look at the lineup and right at the top of the order. Devin Travis has had a heck of a series. He's 4 for 9 with 3 home runs, including leadoff home runs in the first 2 games. And then Edwin Encarnacion for the season batting .316 against the Royals, and today they will take on Yordano Ventura, the Royals right-handed starter.
22nd start of the season for Ventura. He's making his 3rd regular season start against the Blue Jays, facing them twice in last season's postseason. He's 0-5 with an ERA over 5 in his last 7 starts. He has not won in almost 2 months when he beat the Tigers on June the 17th. 10-3. The runs have been a problem for him. The Royals just haven't been able to score many runs. Things might be looking up. He hasn't allowed a run of more than 3 runs in a game since July the 3rd. I think it's a disappointing season for the Royals and Yordano Ventura. Big things were expected of him. He had a great postseason last year for Kansas City. He just hasn't been able to take that next step this year. Actually has a losing record at 6-9.
Let's take a look at the defense for Kansas City. In the outfit, it's Gordon, Orlando, and Kane from left to right. On the infield, Chesler Cuthbert filling in for the injured Mike Moustakas, who's out for the season. Escobar and Mondesi up the middle. Hosmer, a 3-time Gold Glover at first base. And Drew Butera makes his 21st start of the season behind the plate. He is playing with his father in the ballpark. Sal Butera is with the Blue Jays right now.
Speaking of fathers and sons, here's another father-son combination. This is Raul Mondesi. 4 different second basemen for Kansas City this year. I think they found the answer with Mondesi. He's an exciting player. He was just in Double-A last year, just turned 21. Had a big game yesterday. I think the Kansas City Royals have a star in the making right there in Raul Mondesi.
His father, Raul Mondesi, played 3 years with the Blue Jays. Ventura is set. Here's the first pitch of the game. It's in there for a strike, and we are underway. We mentioned Devin Travis and his great series. He's hit 3 home runs in the series, including leadoff home runs in each of the first 2 games.
That hasn't happened for the Blue Jays in a while, where the leadoff batter has hit home runs in consecutive games.
Jose Cruz Jr., the last to do it in April of 2000 against the Yankees. The only other Blue Jay hitter to hit leadoff home runs in consecutive games, Damaso Garcia in June of 1983. Breaking ball, and Ventura strikes out Travis, 1 down.
As they throw the ball around, let's take a look at the scouting report for the young right-hander Yordano Ventura. He's got 3 pitches, and they're all above average. The question is, can he get him in the strike zone consistently? Look at that fastball, 95, almost 96 miles per hour. When he uses it, the curveball, it's a sharp breaker. You just saw him striking out Travis with it, and a pretty decent changeup. When he gets to 2 strikes, you never know where he's going to go with those pitches.
This is Jose Bautista. Bautista is 3 for 5 against Ventura in the regular season. He homered against Ventura in Game 6 of the League Championship Series last October. Bautista hit 2 home runs in that decisive game 6. Kansas City won that game. He had a 4th inning home run off Ventura and a 2-run home run off Ryan Madson to tie it up in the 8th.
I'd have to turn it up a notch against this guy. He's looking free and easy today. Fastball is exploding at 97. He's a wiry guy, not very big, but he's got long arms and a loose arm. It's almost like a buggy whip when he brings it home.
96 in there for a strike. 23 degrees at the start of play, and it's been a terrific weekend for weather. See Donaldson waiting on deck. Bautista drills it down the left field line. That's going to get down for a base hit and go up against the wall. Gordon plays it very well and plays it off the wall to hold Bautista to a long single.
Well, they've got gold glovers all over the place, and there's one of them right there. He might be the best left fielder in the American League. Bautista does turn it up a notch, and he turns around that 3-1 fastball in the inner half. He hits it so hard, and watch the ricochet in the play by Gordon. Picks it up, throws a strike to second base to hold Bautista to a single.
Well, the Blue Jays haven't hit much on this road trip, batting .194 as a team through the first 6 games. Bautista's base hit just the 43rd hit for the Blue Jays on this trip. Josh Donaldson. Josh on the road trip, 5 for 18, a .278 average, but he has a pair of home runs. Batting .297 for the season.
Boy, his at-bats have been so good on this road trip, where a lot of guys have been striking out. He's been taking his walks, hitting the ball hard.
Outside. Well, you know how difficult it is when you're a run producer like Donaldson to be patient and lay off borderline pitches when your team's not scoring many runs.
A lot of times you'll see big sluggers and run producers go outside their zone to try and make something happen.
This is popped up on the right side. Mondesi into the outfield. The second baseman in fair territory makes the catch. Donaldson's retired.
I think the Blue Jays still have to be patient, though. They got to make that pitcher come to them. Donaldson's been patient, Encarnacion has been patient, Bautista's been patient. Even though they have struck out a lot on this road trip, they still got to make that pitcher come to them.
2 down now for Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin 4 for 9 against Ventura, including the postseason. Edwin 6 for 19 this year against Kansas City. Outside.
Boy, he is just missing right off the plate. His last start was a pretty good indication that Ventura looks like he might be turning things around. He threw more fastballs in that last start. That was at Tampa Bay. 5 innings, gave up a couple of earned runs.
Well, the problem for Ventura has been the pitch count. He threw 103 pitches in those 5 innings. Michael Saunders behind Encarnacion. There are 2 outs and Bautista's at first. He singled.
I think that's been the problem for Ventura early here in his career, that he's got outstanding stuff, but he's just learning how to use it.
Everything so far from Ventura has been away.
I think that's by design right there. Get on that fastball. I don't care where it is, inside or outside. Just be ready to hit it.
There's ball 4. So Ventura walks Encarnacion with 2 outs, and that'll bring Michael Saunders to the plate. The Blue Jays this season have had a fairly balanced lineup. When you look at the OPS leaders for the Blue Jays, Donaldson at the top. Then Encarnacion Saunders and Devin Travis, surprisingly, among the leaders in OPS.
We're waiting for these guys to break out here on the road. Donaldson, number 4 in the American League with that OPS. Edwin is 9th in the American League. Michael Saunders is 12th in the American League at 880, and Devin Travis doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify for the OPS in the American League. But these guys, they need them to start driving in big runs.
Saunders batting 167 on this road trip, 3 for 18. Ball gets away from Butera, not far enough for Bautista to move up. Michael's also struck out 10 times on this road trip. This is his 5th game of the 7 played by the Blue Jays.
Boy, a win today would be huge, wouldn't it? 5-2 on the road trip. 2 very good playoff type of teams. And Blue Jays haven't hit.
No, they haven't hit a lick on this road trip. They've scored just 16 runs in these 6 games, but they are 4-2. John Gibbons knows that the pitching has been the strength of this team on the road.
It's been carrying them. Now, if the hitting can catch up, watch out.
Saunders pulls it to first. Hosmer will go to the bag, and Ventura is out of the top half of the first. Blue Jays strand a pair of runners. Marcus Stroman will make his first start here at Kauffman Stadium when we come back. Of this 3-game series, Kansas City is 6 games under 5, 104th in the AL Central. Chesler Cuthbert filling in for the injured Mike Moustakas. He's done a terrific job both in the field and at the plate. His last 24 games, he's hitting .330 with 8 doubles and a home run. And down in the 7th spot, Paulo Orlando has made the most of his opportunity lately, where he has really bumped up his batting average, batting .331 for the season. He's 4 for 8 in the series. He has hit a home run, he has a stolen base, and he has scored 2.
Well, Marcus Stroman gets ready for his 23rd start of the season. You can't pitch much better than he did in his last start. He ran his record to 8-4, 474 earned run average, 13 punch-outs. His first career double-digit strikeout game against Houston. The slider was working. He threw it 42% of the time, and Houston just couldn't catch up to it. He was hitting the glove of Russell Martin. Need that again today from Marcus. This is his debut here at Kauffman Stadium.
First pitch swinging is Alcides Escobar. Stroman has been on quite a roll lately. Over his last 6 starts, he's 2-0. He's pitched to a .329 earned run average, and he's averaged just over 14 pitches per inning. He's been very efficient. Opposing batters have hit just .224 against Stroman over his last 6 starts.
You know, he made the adjustment, and it seems to have worked for him. He was telling me the other day that his head is so important, and the lack of movement now. Before, it was moving all over the place, and he just couldn't get his arm to catch up to his body. He said, when my head is staying very still and staying over the pitching rubber as I'm starting to get ready, to throw a pitch. It says that's when my arm can catch up, and that's why I can stay in the strike zone a little bit more consistently.
As we mentioned, this is the first time Stroman has pitched here at Kauffman Stadium. He beat the Royals back on July 6th at Rogers Stadium and beat them 4-2. Went 8 innings, allowed just 3 hits, a single run.
There are the numbers in the 2 starts.
That's the pitch. It was so good for him in his last start against Houston. That slider for the strikeout, 1 down. Defensively, quite a different look for the Blue Jays. Barney, Upton, and Saunders in the outfield. Josh Donaldson and Tulowitzki on the left side of the infield. Devin Travis and Edwin Encarnacion on the right side. And Josh Thole behind the plate, making his 31st start of the season.
The outfield very different. Kevin Pillar not in the outfield tonight. That is Melvin Upton in center field. Darwin Barney with the start in left field. Last time he was out there was back-to-back games back at Rogers Center, and Michael Saunders gets the start in right field.
There's a ball hit to the alley in right center, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Cuthbert is headed for second, and he will stop there with a 1-out double, his 16th double of the season. And he continues to swing the bat very well, filling in for Mike Moustakas.
He's a good-looking player. He's made some plays down at third base, and he has swung the bat with authority. Mike Moustakas down. They get a chance to see what Cheslor Cuthbert can do, and he's shown the Royals that, hey, I need to play some more. Whips that ball into the alley in right center field for extra bases. Good-looking swing. Good-looking player.
A 1-out double. Lorenzo Cain, the right fielder, will step in. Cain is 2 for 8 in the series. He had an RBI triple, the game-winning hit on Friday night. Cain has missed a lot of playing time with a hamstring problem. And since he's come off the DL, they have taken him from center field and put him in right field. Pat, what's the thinking behind switching his defensive position from center to right?
Well, believe it or not, center fielders run a lot. I mean, they are covering so much ground to their right and to their left. And Ned Yost was saying, you know, if we put him in right field, we can cut down on all of his running. Put him in right field, he's a little bit closer to the dugout. He only has to cover that one field, and he can save his legs because he's been dealing with those hamstring problems. Plus, they get a chance to see Paulo Orlando in center field.
Orlando's been impressive both defensively and at the plate in this series. Stroman gets ahead of Lorenzo Cain, a ball and 2 strikes. And he strikes him out. A couple of strikeouts for Stroman in the first.
This Marcus Stroman start is brought to you by BioSteel Sports Nutrition, the natural choice for everyday performance. Drink the pink.
Marcus Stroman, this is his 12th start on the road this season. He comes in with a 5-3 road record, coming off 2 great starts in back-to-back road starts, Arizona and Houston. Pitched very well on those 2 road starts.
Boy, that start in Houston, I don't know if you can pitch any better than what he did. He used his slider, like I said, much more in that start against Houston, 42% of the time. Normally it's right around 17% of the time, but it was working so well.
Oh, if he makes a good throw, they've got him picked off, but he threw it into center. Tulowitzki broke in behind Cuthbert, and he was flat-footed, but Stroman's throw was wide of second base, and it sailed into center.
What a heads-up play by Troy Tulowitzki, and you're right. Watch him just kind of meander in, just walk, and now he's going to flash that glove. And whenever a pitcher sees that glove or that daylight play at second base, spin and throw it to the base. Marcus misses his spot, and it's going to go down as an error.
Second error for Stroman this season. That one goes all the way behind Hosmer. Hosmer looking out at Stroman with a curious look, and these 2 teams have a history. There's no doubt about that. Hosmer trying to figure out what that last pitch was all about.
I know they want to pitch him inside, but that's kind of interesting. That one behind Hosmer. You saw the reaction from Hosmer, the first baseman, after that ball passed him.
Hosmer in this series is 2 for 7. He had a big 2-run single in the 5th inning in last night's game against Sanchez. Fouls it straight back. The Blue Jays have had a couple of batters hit in this series. Troy Tulowitzki was hit by a pitch on Friday night, as was Josh Donaldson. Tulowitzki was hit in the side. Donaldson was hit in the face. Either one looked to be intentional, but they still hurt.
Yeah, change up from Herrera the other day, the one that hit Donaldson, that still hurts.
There's a breaking ball from Stroman. 2-2 now to Hosmer. Stroman with a strikeout of Escobar, and he did the same to Kane. Chesler Cuthbert doubled and moved to third on Stroman's error. Breaking ball up the middle. Travis near second, throws in time, and the inning is over. Both teams leaving base runners on in the first. No score after 1.
Where it is a rare day off for Blue Jays center fielder Kevin Pillar. I spoke to him before the game. He said what happened last night, he slid into second base, and in the slide he ended up jamming his left thumb. He said if he really had to play today, he would do it. He's a gamer. But at this point in the season, guys, he's really starting to understand the importance of making sure that he is good for the stretch, for the duration. He says he's not going to take any chances with his body. Today is a good day to take a day off.
Well, you just keep fingers crossed that it's not more serious than we hope. It is always risky when these players slide head first. You expose your fingers, your wrists, your shoulder blades, everything. Collarbones, it's a dangerous way to slide. There's no question about that.
Kevin went to go get an MRI today over at Arrowhead Stadium. Was walking over there this morning, and we'll find out how that went. But he says it should be A-OK, should be okay to play. But you're right. You see players nowadays, they put those sliding pads on their hands to give their wrist and their thumbs a little bit more support. Rajai Davis has a real long one that helps him to get to second base a little bit quicker. But
yeah,
it gives
some players wear those mittens like Rajai Davis that protects your fingers as well.
That would have been a perfect time for Kevin Pillar to use it. You saw his hand roll up underneath him, and he jammed his thumb, bent it backwards.
Who's the first guy you remember that used a head first slide?
Pete Rose. Never saw him get hurt though, using the head first slide.
He was made out of granite. He didn't slide. He kind of jumped into the base.
Yeah, it flew through the air and took the punishment on his chest when he slid across the dirt.
Full count to Tulowitzki. He takes a leadoff walk. Second walk issued by Ventura.
We've been there from the start. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays, proud fan since 1977.
Kansas City, Missouri, that is the Country Club Plaza area. About 7 miles from the stadium to the west. This is Melvin Upton Jr. He's playing in center field, and Melvin, with just 3 hits in 28 at bats since coming to the Blue Jays, he has walked once and struck out 12 times. John Gibbons trying to get him going by giving him some opportunities to play every day.
He was going when he was in the National League for San Diego. He put up some pretty big numbers with the Padres. And that ballpark that he was playing is not really known as a hitter's ballpark.
No, it's a big ballpark. He hit 11 doubles, 2 triples, and 16 home runs while in the National League this season. Jays are hopeful that he can get it going. Drew Butera catching for the 21st time this season. This is the 7th time he's caught Ventura. So he knows Giordano and knows how to get the best out of him. Butera actually caught 6 games in a row at the end of May into the first week of June when Perez was out of the lineup.
Had a leg injury and missed that time, and Drew got a chance to catch.
Hopped a mile high over the Royals dugout into the seats.
Well, I'd like to see Ventura throw a ball on the inside part of the plate right here to Upton. That looks like where his swing path is. Down and in. Up and away where he reaches for it. He just doesn't have that ability to go and get it. Everything has been away. You can see why.
Upton in his 6th game on this road trip. He's 2 for 18 so far on the trip with 10 strikeouts. Call down on strikes. Upton thought it was off the plate outside, and the call goes against him. Nick Lentz, the home plate umpire, rings him up.
You know what? So did I. I thought he said ball 4, and I think that's why Melvin was making his way towards first base. Pitch tracker says that ball might have been off the plate. One more time. There's that comeback fastball. Punches him out. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Ventura.
1 out now for Josh Thole, the catcher. Thole batting 158. This is just the 2nd game for Josh. He caught Tuesday down in Houston, of course, when R.A. Dickey had that great start against the Astros. In my mind, that was one of the most significant starts by a Blue Jay pitcher this season, given the way the bullpen was beaten up. They needed R.A. to pitch deep. High fly ball to left. Gordon backing up right at the edge of the warning track, battling the sun, and makes the catch. Thole hit it a long way. Two away.
Well, the thing about Giordano Ventura, his stuff is outstanding, but the mystery is why that ERA just keeps climbing year after year after year. 2014, it was at 3.20. Look at it this year, just under 5. He's got a great fastball, an above average breaking ball, and a very good changeup, but he just has not been able to pitch consistently. I think once he figures out how to pitch, how to use his fastball and throw it for more strikes, I think he can be a big winner in the American League.
His opponent's batting average has gone up each year as well, right along with the ERA. Bounced over the pitcher, and Mondesi will step on the bag at second to retire Barney on the fielder's choice. No score after an inning and a half.
That time of the game where we give you a code and you earn points simply for watching today's broadcast. Here is today's code. It is MBJ7170. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. You have until 11:59 tonight to enter that code. Guys, I spoke with Michael Saunders today about playing right field. It is his first start of the season, but it is a very comfortable spot for him. He made 68 starts there in 2014. He says that DeMarlo Hale asked him with Darwin Barney in the lineup, where do you want to play? He said, put me in right, let Darwin play in left.
Yeah, Darwin's an infielder, and he has made 3 starts in left field now, so you put him out there and try to make him as comfortable as possible. We mentioned Darwin making his 3rd start in left field. You know, Michael Saunders made 6 starts last year when Bautista hurt his arm in April. But unfortunately, Michael never played another game after May 9th because of that knee problem.
And believe me, playing on the side of the diamond that you're a little bit more comfortable with, Darwin is a shortstop and he's played some third base. Playing in left field, it's a little bit easier than going to the other side of the diamond and having to play the outfield. Everything seems backwards when you do that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, because Darwin's looking in at the batter and he has the same perspective that he would have playing shortstop or third base. So ball comes off the bat with the same spin, the same kind of trajectory. 2-2 pitch to Morales, pulls it foul.
Yeah, you're just a little bit farther away from the plate. That's it.
And you have a lot more room to cover. You played the outfield, right?
Yeah, I played the infield and the outfield. I went back and forth, and I always felt comfortable if I played third base. If I just played left field after that, I just felt a little bit more comfortable. He has to remind himself, though, on fly balls off the bat of left-handers, that ball's going to slice towards the line. Righties, it's going to hook towards the line. So everything, you might want to take a couple of steps and guard that line just a little bit more. You know what? Other than that, BJ or Melvin, you got everything in the outfield, right?
Upton's in center, and he's got lots of range. 3-2 count to Morales. Alex Gordon will bat next. A leadoff walk to Morales. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. James Shields certainly hasn't worked out for the White Sox. He is out of the ball game after an inning and a third, giving up 7 earned runs on 6 hits, 4 home runs allowed. That didn't work out the way the White Sox had hoped. Nobody out for Alex Gordon. He takes his strike. Dylan Bundy pitching for the Orioles against Chicago. He has 3 strikeouts in the first inning of that game.
There was a time that James Shields didn't give up that many home runs. But you're right, that didn't work out for the White Sox like they had hoped. It's been a mystery team for me, the White Sox, this year. Thought they'd be a lot better.
Ground ball to Stroman. He goes to second, throws high. Tulowitzki stretches for it, but that high throw costs Stroman a double play. Tulowitzki had to make sure he came down on the bag after he reached for that high throw from Stroman.
You know, those plays within the game that have a way of coming back to hurt you. This might be one of them right here. This is a double play. Marcus catches it and then throws high. And just that little hesitation, Troy has got to catch it, come down, back down on the base, and by the time he relayed the ball over to first base, Gordon beats it out. So now Marcus needs to get another ground ball right here.
It's always difficult when you don't convert opportunities to pick up an out like that double play, but it's really magnified when your team's not scoring any runs. You give the opposition another chance, and Blue Jays haven't scored any runs on this road trip, so you have to make the most of every opportunity you have defensively.
You know, he was coming back up the slope of the mound, and that might have been one of the reasons why that ball was high. He was off target last inning on a pickoff attempt at second base.
Ball on the strike to Paulo Orlando, the center fielder. Orlando is 4 for 8 in this series. He's a tough man to double up. He runs very well. Another base hit for Orlando, his 5th of the series. Solid single to right.
Boy, he has pulled the ball for extra bases. This time he's going to go the other way, and there's the effect once again of not turning a double play. You let the guys have a chance, and I don't know if there's anybody in baseball better than the Kansas City Royals at taking advantage of your mistakes. I think that's why they're the world's champs. Base hit now, instead of 2 outs, runner on first base, there's still only 1 out and a couple of runners on.
Big numbers for Orlando over his last 16 games. This is the catcher, Drew Butera. Catching, giving Perez the day off. Butera's having a good offensive season, batting .296.
Showing some power also in limited at-bats. Look at the on-base percentage, .351 for Drew. It's an OPS of 900. Sal's got to be proud of that, doesn't he?
Well, he's proud of Drew. He knows he's worked hard to become a big league catcher, and he's done a good job for his career. Strike 2. Five for his last 15 at the plate. Fouls this one back.
That slider was a great pitch for Marcus in his last start against Houston. Very effective, especially with 2 strikes. He finished off so many batters with that slider. Could get one here or run that sinker. Run that sinker, trying to get that ground ball once again.
1-2 now, 1 out. Stroman and Sanchez are 2 of the best in baseball at getting ground balls, and he certainly needs one right here. Breaking ball blocked by Toller. Two and two now. Buterin will turn 33 on Tuesday. He was acquired last year in a trade from the Angels early in the season in the first week of May. There's a little looper. This is trouble. That's going to drop. Gordon's around third. He's going to score. Drew Buterin picks up the RBI. A 2-out base hit, his 11th ribby of the season in Kansas City, has a 1-0 lead.
Well, it's a tough team to strike out, the Kansas City Royals. They've got great plate coverage. They cut their swings down when they do get the 2 strikes. And Drew Buterin is going to cash the first run. Just gets it out into the outfield. Slider down and away right off the end of the bat. That's plate coverage. That's how you hit with 2 strikes. Put it in play. Something good could happen. They also play first to third on that single with just 1 out.
This is Mondesi, the number 9 hitter, and you've got to be guarding against a bunt here, even though there's 1 out. They dropped down a beautiful bunt in the game last night. Ended up with a base hit. It was a sacrifice bunt, but he bunted it so well he ended up safe at first, part of a 3-run 5-hit 5th inning against Sanchez. Boy, this inning, you go back and look at that high throw from Stroman. He had a comebacker off the bat of Alex Gordon and threw high to second, so they could only get the lead runner, Morales.
Hey, anytime you have a chance to get out, you have to take advantage of it. The Blue Jays just didn't on that comebacker, and right now it has cost them.
There's the bunt. First base, nobody's going to get there, and Stroman throws it away. A run is in. Buterin stops at third, but Mondesi with another bunt base hit, and he drives in a run, and you had to think that was coming with his speed and ability.
In a fastball count, you got to figure that they were going to play for that extra run. Just get it down. It looked like a bunt and then a squeeze play, the safety squeeze. Once it gets down, the runner's going to score, and then Marcus compounds the problem with another error as he throws that ball away from second base. And then Devin Travis, who was covering. And right now, the wheels are coming off for the Blue Jays defensively.
Second error of the game charged to Stroman. Pete Walker sensed that he had to come out to the mound and try to calm things down. Still just 1 out. And that'll turn the lineup over. 2 runs in this inning for Kansas City. Buterin ends up at third. Mondesi's at first. Back to the top of the order, the leadoff man, Escobar.
Been in that leadoff spot 21 games now. He doesn't have an extra base hit, but he's going to be ready to swing on this first pitch. Be careful.
Inside off the plate. Ball and a strike to the Royals shortstop.
Kansas City is so pesky, aren't they? Like I said, they don't strike out a lot. They've got a lot of team speed, and they're very aggressive. You know, it wouldn't surprise me that at some point in this at-bat that they start that runner at first base and give Escobar the ability to find a hole.
There goes the runner. Throw from Tolle is to the shortstop side of the bag, and Mondesi picks up his second stolen base.
And it was just calling for that runner to move. It's a second stolen base. He had 19 one season when he was in the minor leagues. It's an exciting player who can run. And we'll pick up the stolen base. That takes the double play away from the Blue Jays.
I love that feet first slide at second. He really extended that right leg to hit the bag. Slap to the first baseman, and they got Mondesi hung up. He broke from second and kind of showed. Now he's got Butera between second and third. Totally with the rundown, and they tag out Butera to end the inning. Mondesi ran the Royals into an out. They got anxious and took off on contact. They were able to tag out Butera, but Kansas City scores 2 runs in the bottom of the second to take a 2-0 lead.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. And guys, after the rain this morning, we've got a beautiful day now here at the ballpark.
Sure is a nice day. We woke up and had some rain showers here in Kansas City, but it's cleared out. It's another beautiful afternoon. Blue Jays trail 2-0 as they bat in the top of the third. Devin Travis bounces it to the shortstop, Escobar. To Hosmer, 1 down. The Royals have taken advantage of some sloppy Blue Jays defense so far. The leadoff walk factors in. He walked Morales, then they couldn't turn a double play. Gordon reached base and scored the first of 2 runs.
Blue Jays played errorless ball yesterday. They made 2 errors in the first game here. They haven't really caught the ball well on this road trip. They come into this game second in the American League in fielding percentage, but they've had their share of errors on this road trip. They had a 2-error game in Houston. So that is the 3rd 2-error game on this road trip.
Jose Bautista with a 3-0 count. Bautista single to left his first time up, taking all the way. A 4-pitch walk after 1 out.
Home Hardware and Building Center locations, proud partners of the Toronto Blue Jays. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Kauffman Stadium opened up in 1972. They made major renovations to it. It's a gorgeous ballpark, fan-friendly in every aspect. 1 out for Josh Donaldson.
Player friendly now too, Buck. They put grass in here. Remember the days when you played here when it was July and August and you were on the turf?
And it was like a desert out there. Heat waves rising off the artificial surface.
Unbearable to play here.
Donaldson shoots it into right field. Bautista is going to turn and head for third. Kane's throw will be in time at third base. He throws a strike. Lorenzo Cain made a terrific play as he had to go to his left, and he came up firing. John Gibbons is going to look at the replay.
You know,
Cain threw a strike.
Buck, I didn't think they had any chance to get Bautista at third base. I could see why they have Cain in right field now. What an arm. This is a bullet to right field. And Cain's got to move on this play. He's got to go to his left and then come back and fire a strike. One hop right to the third baseman, who applies the tag on Bautista. John Gibbons is not going to look at it. You see Lou Rivera telling them, hey, outside, outside with the slide, and the throw just beat him. And Yordano Ventura is loving the good defense played by the Kansas City Royals this afternoon.
Terrific throw from Cain, right on the money to nail Bautista at third. So Edwin Encarnacion will bat with Donaldson at first base.
That is the third outfield assist by Lorenzo Cain, so make note of that. That's a pretty decent arm out there in the outfield.
Ball and a strike to Encarnacion.
They have always had great outfielders here.
Yeah, you have to have good outfielders here because it's such a big ballpark and there's so much ground to cover. Always put a lot of emphasis on speed. On Friday night, one of their great center fielders, going back in their Ealer days, Amos Otis, threw out the first ball here Friday night. It came to Kansas City 1970 from the Mets.
And then you had a chance to see their other great center fielder, Willie Wilson, on Friday.
Yeah, I was with a group of fans on Friday. Willie Wilson and Al Fitzmaurice, two of the former Royal players, and Willie Wilson can cover some ground.
Amos Otis, I think he had 52 stolen bases one year when steals weren't that big part of the game.
I was with him then, and I don't think a catcher threw him out that season. He had such a knack for reading pitchers and getting great jumps. Oftentimes he would steal second standing up. 3-2 to Encarnacion. Donaldson will be off on the pitch. 2 outs. Ground ball. Mondesi bobbles it, grabs it, goes to first to throw out Encarnacion. Bat in the bottom of the third. Blue Jays trying to win the series, and if they're going to do that, they're going to have to play come from behind baseball here this afternoon.
They got to start hitting. That's what they have to start doing.
Hitting under 200 on this road trip. This is Cheslor Cuthbert. Hit a double to the alley in right center his first time up. Cuthbert, a very interesting young man. He is 23 years old. Signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Royals in 2009. And he's made a very methodical march to the big leagues. He's never really put up huge numbers in the minor leagues. Last year in Omaha, he hit 11 home runs and drove in 51. But he batted .277, just kind of pedestrian. But he has opened up some eyes this season. That's a pretty good pitch there. Stroman didn't get to call. It's 2-2.
It's interesting what players can do when they get a chance to play. You know, an injury can open up a door like it has for Cuthbert, and he is showing that he belongs in the big leagues.
Isn't that interesting how opportunities present themselves? With the injury to Kane when he went on the DL, Orlando got a chance to play, and he's made the most of it. And same can be said about Cuthbert taking over when Mike Moustakas was injured for the rest of the season.
And then there's some ineffectiveness at second base. Remember, they released Omar Infante. We saw Whit Merrifield the last time Kansas City was in Toronto when they played each other. That ineffectiveness has opened the door for Raul Mondesi to show Ned Yost what he can do at second base.
Foul just outside of the left field line.
Marcus used that slider very effectively in his last start. Like we've been saying, he got a strike percentage swinging almost a quarter of the time he threw it in that last start.
There's a changeup for a strikeout. 3 strikeouts for Stroman.
A lot of things have changed, but one thing hasn't. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays, proud fan since 1977.
A lot of Blue Jay fans follow the team as they move around the American League during the course of the summer. And that's the case here in Kansas City. They have been here at all 3 of these ball games. Lorenzo Cain struck out on a slider his first time up. He bounces this one to third. Donaldson in plenty of time. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the third.
You know, that can be a really devastating type of combination for Marcus Stroman if he can make that slider go away from the righties and then run that fastball in on their hands. If he can do that, and we've talked about that in the past, making X's on both sides of the plate, if he can do that and keep the ball down, he's going to have a lot more games like he had in his last start. That thing was ducking and diving against Houston, wasn't it?
13 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Marcus has put together a great run recently. Coming into this game, in his previous 6 starts, he had 5 walks and 43 strikeouts over those 6 starts. Marcus has made 2 errors this afternoon. It's the first time a Blue Jays pitcher has committed 2 errors in a game since July 3rd of 2013, when Josh Johnson made 2 errors in a game. Hosmer hit it hard, but Donaldson was playing him right at the hole at short. He lines out. 3 up, 3 down. The Royals are down in order. We go to the 4th. Kansas City leads it 2-0.
on the ultimate fan trip. Tweet how you celebrate Canada's team along with the hashtag Celebrate Blue Jays contest and @BlueJays for a chance to watch the Jays in Seattle. Visit BlueJays.com/fan trip for details. It's a trip that Blue Jay fans are always looking forward to. And guys, you know who else is really looking forward to that trip to Seattle this year? The guy who's leading off for the Blue Jays right now.
Michael Saunders, of course, played with the Mariners and get a chance to go back out there and play in front of those fans for first time in a while. He goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. The Blue Jays tied with the Baltimore Orioles for first place in the AL East, and if they're going to keep pace with the Orioles, they're going to have to make up some ground. Baltimore has a 10-0 lead over the White Sox after 3 innings.
There might be some history going on in that game.
Manny Machado has homered in each of his first 3 at-bats. Machado has 7 RBIs.
And it's the 3rd inning.
3rd inning.
He might have 4 more at-bats. Try and get that elusive 4th home run.
There have been 13 games in which a player has hit 3 home runs in a game this season. That sounds like an awful lot, doesn't it?
One of them is standing at the plate.
Michael Saunders did it on the 17th of June against the Orioles. Mookie Betts had a 3-homer game against Baltimore on the 31st of May. Saunders caught looking at strike 3.
You know, when you watch Yordano Ventura work and you see the stuff that comes out of that arm, say, how is this guy 6-9 with an elevated ERA? The breaking ball right there locks up Michael Saunders for his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon.
It's focus and concentration. There's no question about it. Of course, Ventura got into a fight with Manny Machado earlier in the season in Baltimore when Machado charged the mound. And he's been the center of several bench clearing incidents since he's been pitching with the Royals. And he's got to focus on pitching. And if he does that, he can be one of the best.
Yeah, it seems to get caught up into the game, right? And trying to even things out or whatever you want to do. But you watch this guy's arm and you watch the stuff as it makes its way to home plate, and you're like, wow. If he ever figures it out, think the Royals will ever give up on him because of all the problems that he's had?
No, I think they're just going to continue to try to get him to understand you've got to think about pitching. And all that other stuff take care of itself.
Well, the Royals waited a long time for Danny Duffy, and they're really happy that they did. Dave Island, that's the pitching coach for the Royals, done a great job with Danny Duffy. We saw him last night as he won for the 8th time.
Tulowitzki was set to toss the bat away. He thought it was ball 4, but it's called a strike. Now it's a full count. Ventura has 3 walks and 3 strikeouts to this point. Ventura couldn't hang on to the foul tip.
You know what else he does, Ventura, is he maintains his stuff throughout the game. He's a small guy, slightly built, but you can get into the 6th inning, 7th inning, and he's still throwing hard.
.96 with a little bit of movement right at the end. Ventura's listed at 6 feet tall, 185, and I think 185 might be generous. Tulowitzki lines it into left field. He elevated that fastball, Ventura did, and Tulowitzki jumped on it. He's on board for a 2nd time this afternoon.
He can maintain that speed because he's got great arm action. Taking a step back, this is what I was talking about over the last 3 seasons. 14 and 15, his ERA was 3.61. Opponents hit just 2.44 against Ventura. This year hasn't come together for him. ERA just shy of 5. Opponent's still hitting just 250, but the whip is up. He hasn't been able to command that strike zone.
Upton goes after the first pitch and loops it into center. That's going to drop for a base hit. Melvin Upton Jr. with a bloop single into center. Back-to-back one-out singles here in the fourth.
Well, Blue Jays have tried the strategy of hitting the ball hard against Kansas City and it hasn't worked, so why not try and bloop one in? This one gets jammed on. Fastball running inside against Upton, fights it off, and you can see Kane in right field, Orlando in center field. They're not going to come up with that. Upton has his first hit of the series.
Josh Thole, the catcher, drove one to the warning track in left field his first time up. Well, he had a good rip at that first pitch. Josh making the start this afternoon, his 31st start of the season. Second time he's teamed up with Marcus Stroman on the mound. The Blue Jays are 4-2 on this road trip, and a win today. I think everybody'd be very pleased with the 7-game road trip through Houston and Kansas City.
Yeah, especially how it started off. 14 innings and a tough loss for the Blue Jays. Yeah, you can go through Houston and Kansas City, two very tough places. Good pitching, playoff teams last year. You can go 5-2. That'll give you a little momentum heading back home, won't it? Got their work cut out for him this afternoon. Ventura's been tough.
Thole drives this one into center. Orlando got a nice break and runs it down. Boy, the center fielder broke on contact. That ball was slicing away from him, but he utilized his great speed to track it down in the alley.
He is actually shading him to left center field, saying he's not going to get around it. That helped him, but watch him break on that ball, make a nice route to the ball. Just run that thing down. He's got those long strides like a sprinter. Runs it down, takes away extra bases, and the Blue Jays hit another ball hard, come up empty.
That looked like it had a chance to go all the way to the wall and maybe score 2. Darwin Barney grounded into a fielder's choice to end the second.
Well, they had the right guy running at first base if that ball did get down. And Melvin Upton. That would have tied the score easily.
0-2. Darwin Barney is 0 for his last 14. Tulowitzki at second, Upton at first. Butera going to go out to the mound and talk about this next pitch. One and two. Barney strikes out. The Blue Jays leave 2 more on base. So far, they've stranded 6 and trail Kansas City 2-0.
Tomorrow, as the Tampa Bay Rays pay a visit through the 10th of August, followed by the Houston Astros from the 12th to the 14th. Later in the month, a visit from the LA Angels from the 23rd to the 25th, and the Twins from the 26th through the 28th. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets, and tomorrow will be Jake Odorizzi on the mound against R.A. Dickey.
Nice opportunity to get home. They have an off day on Thursday before Cleveland comes into town.
Houston.
Before we go to New York and Cleveland.
Then it's Cleveland. That's right. Next road trip.
Kendrys Morales, he walked to start the second inning. Drummond jumps ahead 0-2 very quickly to the Royals DH. The fastball just missed the inside corner. See, Stroman shook off several suggestions from the catcher Tolle to get to that inside fastball.
Well, you don't want to get yourself into pitching patterns. They've been throwing some breaking balls underneath the hands of Morales this series to get him in strikeouts. So you wanted to try and slip that fastball by him. He had him set up beautifully for it. He just missed.
Comes right back with it, 93, but Morales gets a piece of it. We mentioned Tolle caught Stroman on April 25th when Marcus pitched against the White Sox. In that game, Stroman went 6 2/3, allowed 4 earned runs on 6 hits. Same pitch, same result, a foul tip. Morales 2 for 8 in the 3-game series so far. Another good crowd on hand here at Kauffman Stadium this afternoon. He's getting a bat on the ball on those low fastballs, and Morales staying alive.
He's making good pitches against Kendrys Morales. Everything has been down, and he's just been able to just nick it. Might want to try and buzz one up here. What do you think?
Staying down, wicked hop, and what a play by Encarnacion. Edwin made a terrific play. That ball looked like it was going to bounce over his head down the right field line, but he can smile about it now. Once he got it in the glove, it was academic. But what a play by the first baseman.
That's one of the parts of his game that has gotten better this year. Look at this hop. Self-defense. He catches it and then flips it over to Marcus to record the out. He's on the line. Luckily, it's to his glove side. Gathers himself while he's backing up, flips it over to Marcus, and he goes, yikes. That's dangerous.
He can smile about it now. What a play by Edwin, taking extra bases away from Morales.
He's looked pretty good over there at first base.
He plays first base very well. You'll remember defensively when he was having his problems in the field at third base, most of his errors were throwing errors. He's always had pretty good range and good hands, and he has played very well at first base. This is his 39th start at first.
So take away that responsibility of throwing the ball across the diamond, and you got a power hitting first baseman. Made a couple of dives to his right this year. He's dug out a couple of balls. Pretty good on that. That one was a great play.
Yeah, a terrific play. Just took a wicked hop. May have hit something just beyond the bag at first.
You know, we were talking earlier about one play, how it could turn the whole inning around. That one right there could be totally different if that ball gets by him for extra bases.
2-2 to the left fielder, Alex Gordon. Boy, he's made some good pitches on that inside corner to Morales and to Gordon here in this inning.
Look where all those pitches are in pitch track. Every pitch in the same area.
Stroman walks Gordon. Second walk he's issued.
Boy, what hurts about that is he got ahead 2 strikes and then nibbled and just couldn't finish off Gordon, showing some patience at the plate. Now he's got to pitch out of the stretch again against a very hot hitter.
Paulo Orlando singled and scored back in the second. He had a base hit to right field, his 5th hit in 9 at-bats in this series.
Guy at first base, Gordon, is a very intelligent base runner also. He's a lot like Josh Donaldson when it comes to base running, picking your spots to steal. He hasn't been thrown out this year.
Ground ball, base hit through the hole at short into left field. Blue Jays can't get Orlando out. His 2nd hit of the afternoon.
This guy looks like the best player in baseball right now. Hit a big home run for him here earlier in this series. He's 2 for 2 today. He's made some plays in the outfield. This time he's going to yank that sinker just past Tulowitzki into the outfield. Tulo with the dive, but it's a little bit too late. The ball's hit too hard.
Orlando is one of just 3 Brazilian-born players to make it to the major leagues. Former Blue Jay and current Indian Yan Gomes, born in Brazil. Orlando was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and the other was a pitcher, Andre Rienzo, who came up with the White Sox. The ball is hit down the left side. This is Drew Butera, who drove in the first run of the ball game back in the second.
And you were saying yesterday that Orlando was on the list to get released?
Twice. As a minor leaguer.
Opportunity.
9 seasons in the minor leagues and took him a long time to develop.
Opportunity. Get a chance to play. Show him what you can do.
Butera waved at that, and the umpire down at first, Quinn Wolcott, brings him up for the swing. 1-2 to Butera. He drove in his 11th run of the season with that base hit into second.
That was off of 2 strikes again, and you can see he's choked up again with 2 strikes, trying to make contact.
Wolcott rings him up, tried to check on that slider, but goes around. Butera down on strikes.
Just a little bit too anxious right there on the strike. The slider down and away. The ball is off the plate, but watch Josh Tolley right away say, I think he went. Please ask the umpire, and he says yes. And he punches him out.
Raul Mondesi had a bunt RBI single his last time up. Goes after the first pitch, pulls it to second. Devin Travis to first to end the inning. The Royals get a walk and a single, but leave 2 base runners, and we'll go to the 5th. 2-0 Kansas City. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Again with the #1 rated travel rewards card in Canada, the WestJet RBC World Elite MasterCard. Visit rbc.com/WestJet to apply today. To the top of the 5th we go. Here is Buck Martinez and Pat Tabler.
Thank you very much, Barry. Top of the order for the Blue Jays in the 5th inning. It'll be Travis, Bautista, and Donaldson. Evan Travis 0 for 2. Ventura has walked 3. He struck out 4.
He has left a base runner in every inning so far today. Blue Jays have had their chances. They have made him work as he starts the 5th inning.
Blue Jays are 3 for 14 in this series coming into this ball game with runners in scoring position. Haven't been able to get a big hit. Blue Jays got the leadoff runner on in the 2nd. Couldn't cash in on that leadoff walk to Tulowitzki. Broken bat. Third baseman Cuthbert has it in time to retire Travis.
Boy, that fastball ate him up right there, right in on his hands. Another ground ball for Ventura.
The Blue Jays haven't hit much over the last 15 games. They've averaged just over 200 offensively, 3.7 runs per game. The hits just under 7 hits a game while striking out. But they have managed to put together a 9-6 record thanks to the pitching of this team.
Yeah, that's an average of 10 strikeouts a game. Empty at bats by the Blue Jays by striking out, but they still have a winning record.
They have 4 strikeouts this afternoon. That means they have struck out 82 times on this 7-game road trip. Bautista's been on base twice against Ventura. He walked in the 3rd, had a single in the 1st. Of course, you heard Jamie and Greg talk about Bautista trying to go 1st to 3rd in the 3rd inning, and Kane threw him out with a great throw from right.
Not a bad time to do that. Don't want to make the 1st or 3rd out. That was just the 2nd. I didn't think Kane had a shot at him. He just came up firing and threw a strike.
Bautista called for the swing on the check swing. Full count, 1 out.
Since the All-Star break, Yordano Ventura's ground ball percentage has gone up. I think it's one of the reasons why he has pitched a lot better here in the 2nd half than he did in the 1st half.
Bautista gets a high changeup and hits it to Orlando in center. So 2 quick outs here in the 5th for Ventura. He'll face Josh Donaldson with nobody on. Kevin Pillar out of the lineup for the 2nd time in this series. He slid into 2nd on a stolen base in last night's game and jammed up his thumb. He went for an MRI. We are not privy to the results of the MRI, but Pat, you talked to him this morning and he's fairly confident it's not a serious injury.
Yeah, he thought he, if he had to, could play today. If he had to, he says, I'm banged up all over the place.
Donaldson hits it high into center. Orlando onto the warning track, but straightaway center is 4-10 here in Kansas City. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Kansas City up 2-0.
Fans, be sure to enter the great new contest from Labatt. You could win a spot to play on field at a Blue Jays fan camp in September. Visit participating Boston Pizza locations and enter when purchasing any Budweiser and burger combo. Go to bluejays.com/BudBP contest for details and rules. Guys, what goes better than baseball, burgers, and beers? Great 3 Bs. And Buck.
And Buck. How about 4 Bs? That sounds good, Barry.
And the Blue Jays.
And Barry. There's all kinds of Bs. Bottom of the 5th inning, Kansas City will send the top of the order to the plate. Alcides Escobar will start things off. Escobar get into an unusual double play in the second. He grounded out to the first baseman, Edwin Encarnacion, who stepped on first, and with 2 runners on, the runner from second, Raul Mondesi, broke for third, and they had him in a rundown and eventually tagged out Drew Butera to end the inning.
That could have been dangerous too. Second and third and just 1 out, and Escobar at the plate, top of the order. Edwin finished it off with the double play. That's 101 double plays now for the Blue Jays this season.
Fly ball deep to center, up and back, looking up. This ball's going to go. Alcides Escobar used his second home run of the season to deep center field. It looked like a routine fly ball, but it kept going and sailed out of the yard.
Especially in the part where he hit it, the biggest part of the ballpark. It had been a while since he had an extra base hit. Well, there it is right there. 21 games since he had an extra base hit. Fastball up, and you're right, that looked like it was just a fly ball to center field, but watching Upton go back, drift, and he runs out of room.
That's the 17th home run that Marcus Stroman has given up. John Gibbons is out to talk to Brian Gorman. They want to have a look at it out there in the outfield. The fans are right up against the fence, and the ball went over the fence, bounced back on the play, and John Gibbons wants Brian Gorman to take a look at it on replay, see if indeed it was out of the ballpark.
I think they're going to check to see if the fan reached over the fence to touch that ball. It looked like it hit him in the chest. It looked like they did not reach over the fence.
So Stroman will wait as the umpires connect to New York for the replay review. This replay review is powered by Samsung.
I think you take a chance right here.
It was Mike Moustakas who hit a similar home run in the postseason that went out to right field, and they looked at the review, and here's the look at it from our cameras, and that ball is above the metal fence, and it appears to be a home run, and that's what the umpires here from New York. The ruling on the field stands. Home run for Alcides Escobar, and it's 3-0 Kansas City.
Well, that's a deep drive for a right-handed batter, for a guy who's not really known for hitting home runs, just his second of the season. Blue Jays have brought out the best in Escobar over the last couple of years, haven't they?
Yes, they have. He had a terrific league championship series against the Blue Jays. He was the MVP in that series. Chester Cuthbert, the third baseman. He doubled and was stranded at third in the first inning. Struck out in the third. Cuthbert comes from Nicaragua. He actually lives on an island in a group of what they call corn islands off the coast of Nicaragua. And obviously it's a fishing community. His father was a fisherman growing up, and then they moved to the mainland when he became high school age to concentrate on playing baseball.
That worked out. This guy can play.
Corn Islands are 2 islands off the coast of Nicaragua. There are 12 municipalities on the 2 islands. Pretty interesting upbringing. Broken bat, backhanded by Donaldson across the diamond in time.
Home Hardware and Building Center locations, proud partners of the Toronto Blue Jays. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Kansas City, Missouri, home of the Kansas City Royals, the reigning world champions in baseball. And they have a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th. Stroman delivers a first pitch strike to Lorenzo Cain, who's gone 0 for 2. High fly ball to right. Saunders backing up in front of the Blue Jays bullpen, and he makes the catch. So that'll bring Eric Hosmer to the plate. He's gone 0 for 2, but this season he's hit 15 home runs. We thought we'd give you an idea where those home runs have come in the strike zone.
Pretty easy game plan if you're the Blue Jays. Don't throw a ball down the middle of the plate or Eric Hosmer is going to hurt you. Everything cluster right down the middle, right where those 2 bars meet. The X right in the middle of the plate. Make him reach for it. Got off to a great start this year, did Eric Hosmer, and everybody said this guy's finally going to put together the 30 home run season that everybody envisions from him. 93 RBIs last year. There's Scott Feldman starting to warm up. His career high in home runs is 19. Eric did that back in 2011. Never driven in 100. He's never hit 30.
Oh, and 2, and Hosmer asks for time. You saw Feldman loosening up. He pitched a clean inning on Friday night here in Kansas City. Up the middle, Hosmer gets a 2-strike base hit. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Thank you very much. And the Tigers waste a very good start from Anibal Sanchez, who went 8 innings, struck out 10, and didn't walk a batter. But the bullpen coughed it up.
He's had a bad year, Anibal Sanchez. It's been a tough year for him. Came through big time for him today. They are making their move, the Tigers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're playing pretty good ball. And they got some tough news yesterday when Nick Castellanos suffered a broken hand. He's on a DL. Casey McGee's being called up, the veteran third baseman at the Tigers at the start of play today. 2 back of Cleveland. They have won 9 of their last 10.
Gosh, everybody thought that was a foregone conclusion, right? That Cleveland was going to win the Central. Picked up 4 games in the last 10 on the Indians.
Henrys Morales hits it to Donaldson, who goes across the diamond to end the inning. Escobar with the home run. Kansas City has a 3-0 lead. When we come back, it'll be Encarnacion, Saunders, and Tulowitzki for the Blue Jays. They need some offense here in Kansas City.
The 12th for our next Friday Fan Festival presented by Bacardi. This one featuring a DJ showcase with Jed Harper, DJ Deluxe, and your boy Brian. Patio opens at 4:30, and then you can enjoy some Blue Jays baseball. It's the Houston Astros. Pay a visit. Go to bluejays.com for tickets. I'd like to see Tabby in one of those DJ things. He could be scratching some Jethro Tull, you know?
Yeah, Tabby, he's all into that music. He knows exactly what he's doing. Edwin Encarnacion goes after the first pitch and fouls it out of play, and that Fan Friday takes place on August 12th. That's also a significant date, as Alex Rodriguez will play his last game for the New York Yankees on August 12th.
Got the news today at a press conference this morning. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Yankees wanted to cut ties with him, and he said as much in his press conference that Yankees had talked about releasing him. He's still owed over $25 million, including $20 next season, but he will take a role as an quote-unquote advisor.
Advisor, maybe help out some of the young kids in the minor leagues.
Bouncing ball, Cuthbert at third. Throws in plenty of time to retire Encarnacion.
The Yankees have been in the news a lot this week. Mark Teixeira announcing his retirement. Now Alex Rodriguez. They made the big trades right at the trade deadline last week, or the beginning of this week. Yankees are going to be a different ball club when we see them in another week or so.
Yeah, they'll be much different, and I just find it really sad that Alex Rodriguez would have his career come to an end the way it did. And of course, he created all his own problems. I don't feel sorry for him one bit. I just feel sad that a player with his talent would give in to the PEDs and be suspended for a full year, and have two different situations where he was suspended. But it's really, really disappointing. He was 18 years old when he came up with the Mariners, and he could have been one of the best all-time players.
He was the best player in the game for a while, putting up incredible numbers. As we play today, he's at 696 home runs. But there's always that question, right?
Yep. There's a big asterisk by everything he has done. Michael Saunders shoots it down the left side. Gordon is going to make a nice running catch, and the Blue Jays have hit the ball hard on several occasions this afternoon, but they can't find a hole.
They've got great outfielders. Kane has made a great play in right field. Orlando in center field has made a great play, and now the left fielder Alex Gordon's going to make a great play as he runs that one down. Good outfield. Tough to get the ball by him.
Troy Tulowitzki has been on base twice with a walk and a base hit. You know, earlier we were talking about the fine play that Encarnacion made at first base. Alex Gordon has made a position change in his career and found a home in left field.
He was supposed to be the next George Brett when he came up.
Tulowitzki shoots one to Gordon. Another quick inning. The Blue Jays go down in order for the last 2 innings. Ventura has retired 8 in a row.
Is superstars in sports entertainment. WWE Raw tomorrow on Sportsnet 360 and Sportsnet Now. Oh yeah.
Bottom of the sixth, new pitcher for the Blue Jays will be big Scott Feldman, making his third appearance since joining the Blue Jays.
Picked up a loss in that first game as a Blue Jay right after he was traded from Houston. The Astros beat him down at Minute Maid Field, and then he pitched the first game in this series, a very clean inning, 1-2-3 inning. He has pitched out of the bullpen. He has made some starts this year. He's pitched much better when he's come out of the bullpen. 23 games out of the pen, 4-2 regular with a 258 earned run average. Feldman picks up for Marcus Stroman, who could only go 5 innings this afternoon.
Scott Feldman pitched the 7th inning in Friday night's game and retired the top 3 in order. Alex Gordon, the left fielder. Gordon has reached on a fielder's choice and walked so far this afternoon. Scott Feldman has the ability to pitch multiple innings. As Pat mentioned, he has started some games for Houston this year. Bullpen has itself set up pretty well. On this road trip, they've pitched extremely well. 18 innings in total. They've struck out 17 and walked just 3.
Boy, having a guy like a veteran like Feldman who can go multiple innings, that's something that the Jays have really missed this year. Remember in spring training, they thought they were okay for longmen in the bullpen. It was Jesse Chavez and Gavin Floyd. They thought those 2 guys were going to be able to give them 2, 3, 4 innings when the starter got knocked out early. That wasn't the case.
Drew Hutchinson was also in the mix as a possibility of being a starter or a long man in the bullpen.
There are his numbers. He's done it for a long time. 12th season in the big leagues for Feldman. He throws strikes. I think that's what allows him to go multiple innings when he's pitching out of the bullpen.
Gordon pulls it on the ground. Big hop for Travis. Went away. Marcus Stroman had 2 real good starts in his last 2 road appearances at Arizona and at Houston. Different story today, but Pat, it's interesting to go back and just think about how the game might have been different had he made a double play ball in the 2nd inning that contributed to that 2-run second.
After that leadoff walk, comebacker by Gordon threw high, and after that they scored 2 runs on 3 hits. His error also in that inning on a bunt attempt set up that inning. And all told, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, and 95 pitches.
Yeah, the bottom line is the offense has been held to no runs on 4 hits. They haven't hit a thing on this road trip. And still they're going to end up with a winning road trip no matter what the outcome is today. Fly ball to center field off the bat of Orlando. He's retired for the first time today. In these situations, obviously, if you can get Feldman to pitch a couple innings, maybe 3, it would certainly save the bullpen innings for the upcoming series against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, we haven't seen Osuna. We haven't seen Grilly for a couple of days. They're resting. Cecil, the same thing. Benoit. That's the beauty of having somebody like this. You're down after 5 innings. Come in, throw some zeros, give me 3 innings. Maybe one time through the order. Throw up some zeros, give your offense a chance. Give the rest of the guys in that bullpen a chance to catch their breath.
Catcher Drew Butera batting with 2 outs. Butera drove in the first Royals run with a single in the 2nd inning. So breaking ball down outside, 2-1. I like the setup of the bullpen the way it is now with the 2 39-year-olds down in the pen, Grilly and Benoit. They have both picked up a save on this road trip. And then you've got Osuna, who has the other 2 saves. They were 4 for 4 in save opportunities so far. And they got saved from 3 different pitchers.
There's nothing like having veterans down in that bullpen, huh? As you head towards September. Guys who have pitched in pennant races before.
2-2, 2 down. Utera caught looking at a fastball right down Broadway. Feldman with another good inning. We'll go to the 7th. Blue Jays trail by 3.
Jays a favor and start Mark Trumbo and the Orioles in Oakland tomorrow on Sportsnet. We have it live at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Now. Today, guys, it's more about stopping Manny Machado, although they managed to get him out his 4th time up.
Manny Machado, in case you haven't heard, has hit 3 home runs in the ball game today against the White Sox.
In the first 3 innings, mind you. So he's going to have a couple of chances to hit 4. That doesn't happen very often.
Melvin Upton Jr. bounces the ball high to third base. Cuthbert takes his time. 1 away here in the 7th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. We are in Kansas City, home of the 2015 World Champion Kansas City Royals. They have a 3-0 lead as Ventura is shutting out the Blue Jays on just 4 hits.
9 in a row he has set down. Last Blue Jay to reach base was Melvin Upton on that bloop single in 4th inning.
Josh Tolle hit a line drive to the alley in left center his last time up with a couple men aboard. Looked like it could tie the game up, but Orlando ran it down in the alley in left center. 3-0 to the number 8 hitter. Darwin Barney will bat next. There's a strike to Tolle. Ground ball up the middle. Gloved by Escobar. Throws to Hosmer in time. What a play. On both ends. First by Escobar and then by Hosmer to dig out the low throw.
Full extension by Escobar, number one, to catch the ball, and it looked like he was losing his balance after he caught it. One more time, he's leaning towards the middle of the diamond. Full extension catch. You see he's losing his balance, and then Hosmer picks it on that in-between hop over at first base. Look at that, right in the webbing. Just enough on it, and what a great play on the back end of it by Hosmer.
Great defense from the shortstop and the first baseman, and Tolle is robbed of another hit. Number 9 hitter Darwin Barney 0 for 2.
Well, the Blue Jays have been hitting into some bad luck. They have been robbed all over the diamond today. Moylan one more time. We've seen him twice in this series already.
Ventura has not won over his last 7 starts, going 0-5. He hasn't won since June 17th against the Tigers right here at Kauffman Stadium. Barney takes a walk. It comes with 2 outs. The Blue Jays will fly home after this game, and Tampa Bay will come into Rogers Center. Jake Odorizzi will start things on Monday night against R.A. Dickey. Then a couple of left-handers, Drew Smiley and Blake Snell, will match up against Marco Estrada and Jay Happ.
Odorizzi was outstanding in his last start. That was against these Kansas City Royals. Drew Smiley and the lefty Blake Snell. I think it's the first time the Blue Jays will see the rookie.
Devin Travis goes after the first pitch and lines it into right field. Darwin Barney goes first to third on the base hit. Travis with another hit, his 5th hit in the 3-game series.
Boy, what a piece of hitting, using the whole field as Ned Yost comes out.
So Ned Yost will come out to the mound. Here's a look at the swing off Ventura by Travis.
He gets beat by that fastball, but he's got enough of the barrel onto the ball to get that base hit, keep that hitting streak alive, and that's going to drive Ventura out of this ball game. What an afternoon for the young right-hander.
Ventura, looking for his first win since June 17th, was terrific this afternoon. Peter Moylan into the ball game with runners at the corners. Jose Bautista will face Moylan when we come back. Right-hander Peter Moylan making his 3rd appearance in this series. He has not allowed a hit in the first 2 appearances. Jose Bautista with 2 outs. Goes after the first pitch.
Third time in as many games for Moylan. Faced 5 batters yesterday, retired 4 of them, set a season high in strikeouts with 3. The only runner that got on against him yesterday was an error. Creates a bit of a problem with that side winding delivery. Got to stay on that breaking ball.
0-1 to Bautista. Bautista struck out against Moylan on Friday night to end the 7th. Moylan retired Barney, Travis, and Bautista in order in that Friday night appearance. Ball on the strike to Jose Bautista. Inside pitch. Chris Young, the big right-hander, former starter, now working out of the bullpen, is loosening up for Kansas City. Inside, that gets away from Utera. Here comes Barney, and the Blue Jays are on the board. Darwin Barney scores on the wild pitch charged to Moylan.
Scratch and claw any way you can to get those runs. 2 quick outs here in the inning, then a walk. Looked like a harmless walk to the number 9 hitter. Base hit sends him to third, and he's going to score on this breaking ball that gets in the dirt. And it gets away from Drew Butera. Blue Jays are on the board.
Bautista with a 2-2 count with Travis at second. Moylan strikes him out. The Blue Jays get on the board. They take advantage of a wild pitch to go to the bottom of the 7th. 3-1 Kansas City.
Set for school with 5 great high-five deals from Rogers, including offers on phones, tablets, data, and more on select 2-year share everything plans. Hurry into a Rogers store today. Well, now let's get you back to Buck and Pat.
Thank you very much, Barry. We are in the bottom of the 7th. Kansas City has a 3-1 lead to take the series. John Gibbons, now 54 years old. He's in his 2nd go-around with the Blue Jays, and he's done a terrific job with this ball club over the years. Came back in 2013 for a 2nd stint as the manager of the Blue Jays, and things have gotten better by the season on his return.
Well, how about this? Each year, the Blue Jays keep winning more games, 73, 74, 83, and 93. After today's ball game, the Blue Jays will have 50 games left They've got 63 wins. If they go 30-20, that's 93. Is that enough to win the American League East again? 93 last year with Gibby was enough to win the East.
Don Gibbons finished up 4th in the Manager of the Year voting last season. 9th season as the Blue Jays manager. He has a winning record, and I'd like to see a couple more runs on the board here this afternoon in Kansas City. Scott Feldman for his second inning of relief. He retired the side in order in the 6th. It'll be 9-1-2 for Kansas City here in the bottom of the 7th. Feldman misses with the first pitch to Raul Mondesi. He has a bunt base hit and a stolen base this afternoon.
Everybody's shortening up on the infield, expecting that ability to slap the ball, bunt the ball, run. He has been their #1 player the last 2 years in the organization, and people, every time they were talking to the Kansas City Royals last year about making a trade, they were always asking for this guy right here, and they resisted the temptation to trade him.
He's a switch hitter, and he can run. Look at his minor league numbers. He had 24 steals in 2013 in the minor leagues.
It's
That's
interesting.
A pretty good pitch. He didn't get the call.
It's interesting. He's got an older brother named Raul. That's Junior, his older brother, who played professionally for a little bit. This is his younger brother, Raul.
Into center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Mondesi has his second hit of the afternoon. The Blue Jays can't find a hole, and the Royals are finding all of them. That's Brett Cecil loosening up.
Well, you're not kidding on that last statement. It seems like there's been in this 3-game series a lot of balls that just find their way into the outfield. There's a lot of room out there, so I think the outfielders are playing a couple of steps deeper, respecting the ball over their head, but we've seen a lot of them drop right in front of them.
Now, Alcides Escobar homered his last time up to deep center field off Marcus Stroman. Mondesi looks like he wants to run. Mondesi had a stolen base in the 2nd inning. There he goes. Ball is pulled down the left side. That is just foul. You know, Pat, we talked about the Baseball America Tools poll. Now they voted on players. Escobar was voted the best hit and run artist in the American League by the managers and coaches, and that was an opportunity right there. They started Mondesi, and Escobar just missed a double down the left field line.
They started him earlier in this series. We saw him take off, but Escobar struck out. Yeah, he's a great guy to use the hit and run with. And Mondesi can run. Knows a little something about the game. And if you make a mistake, we saw it last time he was up. He drilled that ball a long way to right center.
There's a bunt. Donaldson coming from third makes a throw to first. It is not in time. Quinn Wolcott, the first base umpire, took a long look at it and then waved safe after he made sure that he reacted to what he saw. Escobar drops down a bunt. The Blue Jays, of course, are going to look at their replay review
and try and get an idea. You get to look at it first at home. Perfect bump by Escobar. Donaldson with the bare hands got enough on that throw. Can you determine from that shot if he is safe or not?
Nope, I can't. It looked like he jumped for the base, and oftentimes that will create A bit of a slow step on the bag, but that time he appeared to beat the throw. Blue Jays aren't going to ask for the review. Nobody out. Chesler Cuthbert. He's 2 for 3. Excuse me, 1 for 3. He had a double in the first inning.
Boy, lots of options right now for the Royals. You've got the lead. You can go for broke right here. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, Cuthbert has been swinging the bat well in this series. He hit the double in the first inning. He had a double off the top of the wall.
Maybe if you're behind or if the game is tied while you're at home, you might think about bunting here, but you're up by a couple of runs. You can go for it.
Showing bunt now, and he bunts it foul. Cuthbert had a leadoff double off the top of the bullpen fence in left field last night against Danny Barnes to lead off the 7th. But now Ned Yost has all kinds of options. He has shown bunt to the Blue Jays. Now it's a 1-1 count.
One thing I don't think they're going to do is send the runners. Never want to do that. First and second, nobody out. If he hits a line drive right at somebody, you're out of the inning.
There's a base hit to right. Mondesi will be stopped at third. The throw comes in and cut off by Encarnacion. 3 straight base hits here in the 7th.
He can handle that bat too. He's done a lot of little things in this series that makes you very impressed. That ball is up and away from him, doesn't drop his back shoulder, stays on top of that ball and lines it into right field. And now the Royals have the bases loaded and nobody out, and their best hitters coming up, Kane, Hosmer, and Morales. Good piece of hitting right there. Look at that series for the young third baseman.
He's 2 for 4 this afternoon. Scott Feldman trying to pitch out of a tough situation here in the 7th. Kansas City with a 3-1 lead. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 10-5. Lorenzo Cain 0 for so far this afternoon.
That was just like yesterday. They out-hit the Blue Jays 11-5 and winning by a couple of runs. Blue Jays look like they're going to come home. Can't afford to give up any more runs.
The infield is halfway. Feldman is not a strikeout pitcher. Has just 42 strikeouts in 63 innings this season.
But he is a ground ball pitcher, and that's what they're looking for right here. Something on the ground where you can go home. Boy, talk about being in the driver's seat. Bases loaded, nobody out, no place to put him, and you're ahead in the count 2-0. If you're Lorenzo Cain, you can look for one pitch right here. Figure out what your strengths are and look for that pitch in that zone.
The Blue Jays, after ball 2 to Cain, drew the infield in closer. They're sensing that they better cut off the run at the plate. The Jays have scored just 1 run on 5 hits today. They've scored a total of 17 runs in 7 games on this road trip. Popped up and into the seats, out of play. Outside, it's a full count. Feldman understands this situation. He has the bases loaded. Mondesi got a base hit to center. Escobar dropped down a bunt to third, and Cuthbert singled to right. Nobody out, no place to put Kane. High and deep, but well foul.
Wow, that thing's gonna hook well foul down the left field line. It was a pitch that finally showed one in on him, trying to jam him, but he got the head out.
I'd throw him a breaking ball here. 3-2. Just take a chance that he's in a swing mode, anxious to drive in some runs.
After that last swing,
yeah,
same thing. I'm with you. Might be his last batter of the day too, with the left-hander Hosmer on deck.
Fastball, he struck him out. Oh, big strikeout for Feldman. Kane foul tipped it into the glove of Tolle, and here comes John Gibbons making the call for Brett Cecil.
He's got that late movement on that fastball like a cutter, and that's just what he needed right there. A little bit of movement to foul tip it into the glove of Tolle. Big strikeout for Feldman, and now it's up to Brett Cecil.
A huge strikeout by Feldman after 3 consecutive singles by the Royals to start the inning. Now Brett Cecil will come on to face Eric Hosmer with the bases loaded and 1 out. Ball game with the bases loaded and 1 out, and he's given a challenge here trying to save these runs.
He's going to be facing the left-hander. Brett picked up that first win of the season. First game here on Friday night against the Royals. He has had a history with Eric Hosmer, the big left-hander at the plate. He's faced him 11 times, given up 3 hits.
Cecil got Hosmer to ground out in the 8th inning on that Friday night appearance. He got Hosmer, struck out Morales, and got Perez to ground out, 3 up, 3 down to pick up his first win of the season. Hosmer with a good rip.
Showing him the fastball early in the count. Might want to put him away with the breaking ball. Brett's been throwing a much better breaking ball his last few times to the mound. Yes, not giving up a run in his last 7 games.
Breaking ball fouled into the seats. This is the 3rd appearance for Cecil on this road trip. He's not allowed a hit, hasn't walked a batter. The Royals have one grand slam this season, and it comes from an unlikely source. Gerard Dyson has hit the only grand slam for the Royals this year. Foul back again. Dyson has one home run. It's a grand slam. Wow.
You could have given me 5 guesses and I wouldn't have guessed that. Even if you said unlikely source, I would have picked an everyday player, right? More chances. A couple of high fastballs to Hosmer. Maybe it's time for that breaking ball.
There it is, and he gets the strikeout. Tolley.
He caught that.
Tolley says he caught it. The umpire at third said it hit the ground, and
no,
the home plate umpire, Nick Lentz, is saying that it hit the ground because Lentz held his hands in the air indicating foul ball. Now John Gibbons out to plead Tolley's case. Tolley says I caught it with my palm up.
Yeah. Yeah, and clearly from what we saw from here, you'll see it once again. Curveball down and away. That's right into his glove. That never hit the ground. He shows him, and you can see the umpire. He's looking to the third base.
He sure
umpire.
is. He's looking to the third base umpire, and that's why he took so long to make the call.
Let's take a look at this in slow motion. That's foul tipped. That's right in the glove. You can see his glove was underneath that, and it hit down in the webbing. Yeah, it bounced, but it was bouncing in the webbing.
Now they have had a conference, and that call is going to stand. And Tolley, he can't believe it.
One more time. It bounced.
It bounced, but it bounced in the webbing of his glove.
Yes.
That's what deceived the umpires. They saw it move up, but it was in the webbing of his glove when it hit the dirt, and he had caught it. 1-2. Inside. The Royals have had every break possible in this series.
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Finding holes, everything has gone their way.
It sure seems that way.
2-2 to Hosmer. There's a clean strikeout. No question about that one. Cecil strikes out Hosmer.
Boy, he's always got that hard breaking ball that's been better and better his last few times out in his back pocket against those lefties. And he finishes off Hosmer with a good one. Watch that ball just spin right off his middle finger. Looks like a strike, and as he starts to swing at it, just disappears. Blue Jays get a tough hitter in Eric Hosmer.
Well, they got a tough hitter in Kendrys Morales, who's hitting much better against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. Morales batting .278 against lefties, .226 against righties, and Cecil called Tolley out. I have a chat about this at bat. Morales just 1 for 8 going up against Brett Cecil. Boy, if the Blue Jays can get out of this inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Feldman struck out Kane. Cecil strikes out Hosmer. And this is a deep fly ball to center, and this is going to go. Grand slam home run for Kendrys Morales. His 3rd career grand slam.
You kind of had a feeling that Morales didn't want to get into a situation with 2 strikes, and Cecil could use that breaking ball, so he was going to look for a fastball first pitch. And he got it. And he knew what to do with it. 3rd career grand slam for Kendrys Morales. And he's going to bust this one wide open with one swing of the bat. One more time. Right out over the middle of the plate, and that is a long way to center field here at Kauffman Stadium.
Over the seats in deep center. A long home run for Morales. his 18th of the season. He now has 54 RBIs. Alex Gordon fouls it off. It's 1-1. Boy, that was a tough situation that Cecil inherited. He comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out, strikes out Hosmer, but then is touched up for the grand slam by Morales. One and 2 to Gordon.
Morales has killed the Blue Jays this year with his bat. They've only played him 6 times, but he has had some big games against Toronto.
Cecil strikes out Gordon. That ends the inning, but the damage is done. Kendrys Morales hits the 2nd Royals grand slam of the season. The Blue Jays trail by 6. Donaldson will start things off, then Encarnacion and Saunders when we come back to Kansas City.
Sportsnet. Presented by Honda. A lot has changed in 40 years, but one thing hasn't. Honda. Proud fan since 1977. Official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Chris Young comes on to start the 8th inning. Peter Moylan struck out Jose Bautista with a base runner at 2nd, and he is done for the afternoon. Now they turn things over to the big right-hander, Chris Young.
21 games, 13 starts. Blue Jays saw him in a start back at Rogers Center on July the 5th, and Young didn't stick around very long. Just 2 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs charged to Chris Young, the right-hander.
Donaldson hits it on the ground right to the shortstop. Escobar across to Hosmer in time. 1 away. Edwin Encarnacion takes the first pitch strike. Edwin 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked in the first, grounded out to 2nd, and has grounded out to 3rd. Blue Jays' only run scoring on a wild pitch. Tries to Yordano Ventura. That allowed Darwin Barney to score. The only run they've scored this afternoon.
It's the only time they got a runner to 3rd base in 7 innings. And he would score on that wild pitch.
Encarnacion reaches for it and pops it up Hosmer on the outfield grass makes the catch.
And when they hit the ball hard, the Royals have been there to catch it. Just one hit for the Jays since the 4th inning against Kansas City pitching.
Devin Travis had a base hit to right. Travis 5 hits in the 3-game series. 5 for 13. Michael Saunders playing in right field for the first time this season. He's gone over 3. In case you're just joining us, Kevin Pillar was held out of this game because of a sore thumb. Injured his thumb yesterday in a stolen base situation. He says he doesn't expect to be out long and will probably be back in there tomorrow with Tampa Bay at Rogers Center. Joe Biagini loosening up. Biagini's had a good road trip. Biagini, 3 innings of relief work on this trip. Just 2 hits allowed, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 3 so far. He's thrown the ball well. Saunders takes a strike. It's 3-1.
Yeah, he's been throwing some important innings for the Blue Jays on this road trip.
George Tulowitzki, he's 1 for 2. It's a fly ball to left. Gordon back, well in front of the warning track. Chris Young retires the side in order in the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Kansas City with a 7-1 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Samsung broadcast studio. To you by the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year.
Well, if you were with us last inning, our drive of the game just happened. Bases are loaded, and Kendrys Morales with 1 swing is going to empty the bases with his 3rd career grand slam. This shot to deep center field. Morales' 18th home run of the season. He's got 54 RBIs now and blows this game wide open with this afternoon's drive of the game.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Kansas City with a 7-1 lead. And Joe Biagini will come on. He's making his 3rd appearance on this 7-game road trip.
You know, you mentioned that he has been throwing better, and I got a chance to chat with him momentarily this morning, and I was asking him, hey, what pitch has been a good pitch for you this year? And he said, you know what, I changed the grip on my cutter, and my cutter has been a lot better. Feel really good about it. I've always been a fastball curveball type of pitcher, but I've added that thing when I changed the grip, played around with it just a little bit. I'm getting good movement with it. And he has done well for the Blue Jays. I think he has gone beyond expectations.
There's that cutter, and it finds the outside corner. Paulo Orlando, 2 for 3 this afternoon. He has 6 hits and 11 at bats in this series. He's also made a couple of fine defensive plays in center field. There's the curveball.
Yeah, he can run that fastball upstairs if he wants to, because he comes right over the top. Drop that curveball on him if he needs to. Says my changeup has to be just a little bit better. He'll run that fastball in on right-handers also, but I think he got plenty of pitches to pitch out of the bullpen and pitch effectively for the Blue Jays.
Curveball bounced foul once again. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And you mentioned the expectations. I think Biagini has far exceeded the Blue Jays' expectations. He's a Rule 5 player. Prior to this season, he had never pitched above Double-A. They got him in a Rule 5 draft from the San Francisco Giants, and he's been a very pleasant surprise. Strikes out Orlando. 1 down. Time now for the schedule ahead, brought to you by WestJet. Blue Jays will jump on a plane, come home to Toronto tonight, and take on the Rays tomorrow, a 3-game series against Tampa Bay. They'll enjoy an off day on Thursday before Houston comes to town for a 3-game set. And the Blue Jays will go into New York, take on the Yankees, and those Yankees will be without Alex Rodriguez. He will play his final game on August 12th. And then the off day in Cleveland and the 3-game series against the Indians. Utera goes after the first pitch and lines it right to the center fielder, Melvin Upton Jr.
Doesn't get any easier for the Blue Jays, does it? When you're talking about pitching staffs, they've been struggling to score runs. Then you get the Tampa Bay staff. We've already seen the Houston staff. Quick trip to New York for 3, and then 3 games against Cleveland, and their pitching staff has been great all season.
Cleveland is 3rd in the American League in team ERA. The Blue Jays are 1st. They're ahead of Houston. But you mentioned we're going to see Tampa Bay, Houston, and Cleveland sandwiched around the Yankees. New York, of course, has a 55-55 record, but everybody else is going to be tough customers for the Blue Jays. This is Raul Mondesi. He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. Hits this ball high in the air to right. Michael Saunders in the alley makes the catch. Nice inning for Biagini. The Blue Jays will go to the 9th. They're down by 6.
Fans, Jerry Howard, the radio voice of the Blue Jays, has now been in the broadcast booth for 35 years, and you can help celebrate with Jerry and enter for your chance to win a Sportsnet VIP game day experience. Visit sportsnet.ca/Jerry35 for more details. And Jerry just happened to have been 35 years old when he called his first Jays game.
What a career he has had, and acknowledge Jerry by logging on. Give him your best wishes, and he's not going anywhere, but we're just acknowledging his 35 seasons behind the mic for the Blue Jays. Troy Tulowitzki fouls it into the seats. Chris Young, his second inning of relief. Rodano Ventura went 6 2/3. And he was terrific today. He is in line for his first win since June 17th.
When he beat the Tigers 10-3. And pitching much better since the All-Star break.
Popped up into shallow right field. Kane coming on. The right fielder makes the catch. One down. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Eric Thomas. That's all coming up right after this ball game. And in case you haven't heard, at the Travelers Championship in Connecticut, Jim Furyk shot a 58 today. The lowest round in golf history, and a 58 in the final round.
How about that?
That's something else. Very classy guy. He's had a great tournament. He shoots a 58. He had a birdie putt on 18 for a 57.
That sounds like my front nine.
Me too.
Now you're being humble there. I've seen you hit a golf ball.
Alvin Upton Jr. He strikes out on 3 pitches. 2 quick outs here in the ninth.
Well, the Blue Jays, they got to go back to the drawing board. Hitting wise, it's been a tough trip. Even though they haven't hit, they're going to go home, it looks like, with a winning record, but it could have been a lot better.
Well, they lost a 14-inning game to start the road trip in Houston on Monday. Brooke Jacoby, the hitting coach, certainly a bit concerned about the offense right now. It's been a tough 7 games. Josh Tolley, the catcher, is 0 for 3, but he deserved a better afternoon. He's hit the ball sharply a couple of times today. He was robbed of a base hit his last time up. Pulls this one on the ground. That's going to find a hole. So Tolley gets a base hit.
Finally, Josh says, I hit a ball hard a couple of times. I was robbed by the center fielder, and then the shortstop. This time I'm going to get it into the outfield all by myself. Just the 6th hit of the afternoon for the Blue Jays.
Quinn Wolcott talking to Tolley, and I wonder if that conversation is about the foul tip to Hosmer.
Oh, yeah. Sure it is. 6 hits for the Jays today, Buck. All singles.
Darwin Barney has scored the only Blue Jays run of the afternoon. He lines it to third, and that's the ball game. Seems like it's been that kind of day for the Blue Jays. Another well-hit ball right at one of the Royals, and the Royals take the series 2-1 thanks to that man, Kendrys Morales, with a big grand slam to bust the game wide open.
Wide open. At the time, it was a 2-run game. His grand slam busted it open. They take the series, and now the Blue Jays have got to scramble, get back to work, get home, and have a good homestand.
Well, the Blue Jays end up 4-3 on the road trip. They'll be home for a 6-game series tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night from Rogers Center. Here's Sportsnet Central.